regardless of the tools you're using, in terms of being an editor, you were talkative and friendly. You were eager to learn and curious,
Yeah.
right? These are things that like you can't put in a software package, right? Hit the C button for curiosity. And then, you were able to receive like this. You jumped at an opportunity and it was presented to you. It was like you were there for the luck that presented itself to you.
Right.
You took that chance with the confidence that you could handle it because you had this sort of client relations thing down while you were waiting for this render or whatever was happening. Just like you like people, which is I think
Yeah.
part of an editor's toolbox, in addition to the understanding of character and story and these other sort of things that we take for granted. But that how you got started, I think and I guess there's a question: could you recreate something like that with someone who is, curious, a go-getter, knowledgeable, friendly, like those traits? It seems like, of course, that could happen now. It just happens
Yeah.
differently now. But like,
Right.
how do you see people coming up today?
So I do think it could happen now. I guess that just the only difference would be it probably wouldn't be because of equipment that you get your foot in the door initially.
Hmm.
And actually, what I've started doing in recent years, I had this epiphany one day where I was like, for a long time I was chasing the next thing. Like, okay, I've done, Homicide was a network television show. Now I want to do something for HBO. Okay, I've did that. Now I want to do a feature film. I've done a couple of feature films. Now I want to do like, I've always tried to follow the best writing I can in whatever format. And one day I just said to myself, well, I don't know if I want to just keep chasing the next thing or thinking of it as climbing a ladder, because that seems sort of self-defeating. Like not everything falls on a ladder as being better, better, better. There's different ways to go laterally. And I thought one thing I want to do in this next phase of my career is I want to mentor. I want to give back. And that sounds like a platitude, but I really meant it because I have learned so much in sort of non-traditional ways just by, learn while you earn, getting these opportunities that maybe you would think on paper I wasn't quite ready for, but I got the opportunity, I made the best of it, and then I got the next opportunity. So, what is that secret sauce? So the union has this women's steering committee, and we do a mentoring project once a year where you get a young mentee and you work with that person for the year, and it can take any shape you want. And this is my second time doing it, and I meet with the person I'm mentoring once a month, and we just talk about the business. And sometimes people will have really concrete questions like, how do you do dailies? Like, do you watch everything? Do you just go by the script notes? And I tell them how I do things. One of the things I always make a point to do, and this is a more direct answer to your question, is I have them do an interview with me over Zoom, because I think that I have gotten pretty good at it. Not just because I've gotten a lot of the jobs I've interviewed for, but because I know that I really trained for it. This background with the flowers, with the little depth behind me, is not an accident. Like, I've done rehearsals. I actually, at the end of a meeting with a director, he said, I got to tell you, you have the best background I've ever seen, because I had
It
this
has
big,
good lines, by the way. I was
good
going to
lines, right?
say, yes, it's well, also though, with the split though, the
Yep,
light and the dark right above
yep,
your head, I
yep.
think that calls into question a little bit of what are your motives here? Are they
Drama and comedy.
flowers? Or are they right? Like you're good at both things, but like, are you going up that dark staircase, or are you going
And
to hang in the garden?
And I didn't put my ring light up today because it's upstairs next to my Avid, because I have Zoom calls for work all day, but usually there's a ring light. And, I'm joking, but I want people to rehearse and really think about, like, yeah, you're doing your interview from your home and you may have your pajamas on from the waist down and your slippers, but this is serious. Like, you could get this job. It could be 6 months of your year. It could change your career, or it's a nice conversation where someone remembers you months later for a different job. Like, there's a lot on the line. So I've done this with friends and with people I'm mentoring to really rehearse. And I get them to prepare, sometimes over prepare, and then you just have to say, you're not going to get to say all this, but you just want to have some of this information ready in case it comes up. If you're meeting with a director, what has that director done? Have you seen everything? Have you seen half of what they've done and you hope to see the rest? Like, just, you know, be prepared. So that's the next thing that, or that's like the part of my career where right now where I'm doing a show, I'm working on a show that I really love that does take up a lot of my time, but I'm doing this other stuff that does benefit me, quite frankly. I mean, it's not like, I'm only doing it for others. I really enjoy talking about editing, and I enjoy sharing what I know about, how to build a career and how to interview.